Alright, hey guys, today we're not doing a system test, but we're doing another kind of video. Now the alarms are still hooked up to the panel, but no, this is not an actual fire alarm test because the system is undergoing some remix. But anyway, sorry about how system test 77's video got delayed, but it will be uploaded this week, I promise. I've been really busy and school's coming to an end anyways. Let's go over the devices. So, starting with the oldest device, we have a system sensor spectralert classic first gen horn strobe. Horn is set to electromechanical low volume, and the strobe is fixed 1575. And this thing is like a first gen. I know it's not recommended to wire these things on the same circuits of newer alarms, but I did it anyway because my system provides enough current to avoid fire alarm fluctuations. It does happen sometimes, but not all the time. But this alarm was introduced in the 1990s, and I believe this was manufactured in the late 90s. Now moving on, we have the system sensor spectralert advanced HR. I believe this is like the older generation of system sensor spectralert advanced, but it has a more scratchy sound, meaning it's the first gen one that was never untouched. This one looks a little newer, but it's actually an older generation one because I got it from Amazon. And by the way, this is set to code 3 low volume. And as you can see, every device has tape on it because all of these devices combined would be very loud, even louder than they individually are. So yeah, moving on, we have my first fire alarm, and this is another system sensor spectralert device. It's MHR mini horn, and it's set to code 3 low volume with tape on it. This will sound like the quietest device along with the classic because the sound will be taken over by the spectralert sounding devices, since I have more spectralert sounding devices in my collection. So yeah, right beside it we have my this is like the newest generation of spectralert advanced, by the way. So it's a second gen system sensor PC2WL, and its strobe is set to 15 candela, and the horn is set to code 3 low volume. Moving on to newer devices, we have my second fire alarm over here that ever came in my collection. But we have a system sensor P2R horn strobe. This one is like the newer generation because it doesn't really have a scratchy sound compared to the others, because the older system sensor P2RLs does kind of have a scratchy sound. So yeah, and the strobe is set to 15 candela, and the horn is set to code 3 low volume. Over here, we have another system sensor L series device. It's a system sensor HWL, also set to code 3 low volume. And then above it, we have the new system sensor series, which is the system sensor LEJL series. They actually disconnected their Xenon devices now, but they still sell their Xenon devices on Amazon to finish the supply of those older alarms, since they're still relatively new. But anyways, this one has an LED, and this is the only LED device on this unique test we have today. It's set to 15 candela. And so all of these devices are wired to one system sensor MDL3R. This is the newest system sensor sync module. The MDL is connected to the horn output, so once I silence it, everything will stop. And we're going to hear all of these devices in sync, but some of them will be quieter than each other, and some of them will be louder. So 3, 2, and 1. As you can see, there's a little end of line in LED over here showing the sync pattern. Everything has been silenced. No strobe action because of how I wired the MDL. I'm kind of out of my wire supply, and I'm planning to replace every wire in the actual fire alarm system with fire alarm wire. And as you can see, a little change happened. The panel is moved here, but in system test 77, you'll see that the panel was still on the ground. I moved it here so that I could, vacuum. It's been a while since I vacuumed here. Now I will reset the pull station once I get my keys here. Also, as you can see, it's really hard to hear the MHR and the classic because of how dominant the spectralert tone is. What I'm referring to when I say the spectralert tone is the spectralert advanced type tones. So like the tone that was introduced when the advanced were and came in, and then also the tone produced on the L series, which is similar to the advanced except it has a more smoother edge to it. Anyways, we're gonna reset the panel, and that's pretty much it. Bye guys.